So, make more things. You want to create content for an audience. So right now you're creating content for your clients, right? The clients, paying clients, of course, that's all well and good. But you also want to practice making content for an audience because it'll really help you. There are different ways you can make money from this actually, and Manuel will be talking about that. But for example, a blogger with good traffic, maybe 10,000 views a month, could make about $50 from like just putting a link in there. If you're a vlogger with about 10,000 subscribers, you can make a few $100s a month just act. And the thing is, the topic doesn't have to be, topic can be anything, like literally anything. There are, of course, in my industry, it's really the beauty bloggers, but there's so many other topics. Some people just talk about kung ano niluto nila sa bahay nila, or talk about their parenting, or talk about whatever it is their hobbies are. And if you're a human being, you have a hobby somewhere, right? You want to be able to create content around that, and being a blogger or vlogger really goes a long way in actually helping you make money from that. Now, I'm not gonna lie and say that this is gonna take you like all of 1 month to be good at or successful at, but in the long term, it can be a very lucrative way to supplement your freelance income, or even you can jump to it from being a freelancer. Oh yeah, Instagram influencers do get quite a bit of money as well. It's for mga 10% of their followers. Okay. So, now, you just need to get paid. Hustling is all well and good, but you need to get paid. And if you're working with overseas clients and you're working, creating content, right? If you're selling your strategies in all these marketplaces, you have to be able to have an account. And I mean, some people can wire you money directly, but this usually takes time and it's actually quite expensive. I mean, my experience at least, when we work with overseas clients. So I have PayPal. So I've had PayPal since 2007, I think. I had a PayPal account before I had my bank account. And what I love about it is that they have 2 new services right now. They have PayPal invoicing. It looks like this. So actually, a lot of freelancers don't know how to write a proper invoice. So what I love about PayPal is that they have this invoicing service wherein you can send it directly to the email address of your client. And it looks like this. It's very professional. It's all detailed. There's taxes and everything. And what's nice is you can go to your PayPal account and you can send reminders. Alam natin yung mga kliyente na ang tagal-tagal magbayad. Kung makademanda, kala mo binayaran ka na. Pero bago ko bayaran, it takes so long. And with this, and Filipinos are usually so shy about following up. Sino naka-experience ito? Dati shy ako, ngayon wala akong hiya. I mean, ayan, bill. I just have someone follow up. I mean, come on. But as freelancers, if you don't have someone to follow up for you, you can have the PayPal invoicing kasi you can send reminders. As in, there's a tab which sends reminders. So, next week, di pa rin mabayad, reminder. So, mahihiya na lang siya sa'yo eventually. And hindi naman nakakahiya kasi it looks very professional and very well done. So, I actually love this particular feature of PayPal. This is a fairly new service, so I love that. Okay, and they can pay direct through their credit card or debit cards. So aside from PayPal, if they don't have a PayPal account, that's fine. If you use invoicing, pagka-click nila, diretso agad sa credit card yun. So wala silang tax. Importante yan, pagbayaran, alam natin. I also love PayPal.me. Why? Because for my online store, like sometimes people don't want to go through the website. Like it's kind of frustrating. Like it's already so easy. You just go to the website, click, add to cart, and then the payment gets sent to you. But sometimes they're like, how do I order? Or how do I buy? Magkano po? HM po? Parang, I need money. That's why there's a website, right? But they don't want to do that. And syempre, as the business owner, I have to treat them as their clients. So I want to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to settle whatever it is that they're paying for. So I love PayPal.me because you can get your very own unique URL. So for example, my PayPal.me is in her element, derecho. So if I send that link, they can input the amount to pay me, and then direct na yan, babayaran na yan sa PayPal. You can actually try that right now if you want. You can pay me. No, I'm just kidding. But what's nice also is that if you want to send them, wanted to pay an exact amount, you can type PayPal.me in her element / Kuwari 1,000 pesos or yan, $3,000. You can put that like 1,000 pesos, for example, and when they click on it, it sends them to pay exactly 1,000 pesos already. And that's like so neat. Again, when you're just chatting, right? Or when you're just on Instagram, and especially if you want people to pay via credit card, it's so nice. Like, PayPal me 1,000 pesos. I get paid directly. They don't have to like muck around with the website. And it makes the whole process so much easier. So yes, get a PayPal account if you have it. So yeah, basically what I wanted to share with you guys is that freelancing doesn't have to be as scary or as unstable as it might sound initially. Like, I really remember when I quit my full-time job, as umiyak talaga ako, parang, oh my God, I don't know kung sweldo, what am I gonna do? That was like, I was just right off college. Like, I got that job as soon as I graduated from college, I started working, and 8 months later, I was like, oh my God, wala akong sweldo tomorrow, wala akong sweldo next month. I don't know, I was like just really so scared and so uncertain about my future. At that time, my parents were like, sure ka ba, yung gusto mong mangyari? Like, why don't you like stay a little bit longer or find another full-time job? But you know, I told them, like, I'm really passionate about blogging. It's really something I want to pursue full-time, and I wanted to see how far this can take me before I try another full-time job. And luckily enough, I guess it was just a lot of good timing on my part. I've never had to take a full-time job until now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, we all have a dream of, you know, being able to manage our own time and being able to control our life. But, you know, that dream is free, but working for it and like, you know, just really going for it takes a lot of guts, takes a lot of effort, but ultimately can be very rewarding. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed my talk.
Thank you very much, Liz. We have a little more time, so if you guys have, actually I told you earlier that we'll do the Q&A towards the end, but we have a little more time with Liz. So if you guys have any questions right now that you wanted to ask Liz, just raise your hand. Anyone?
I want 3 questions.
Yeah, she wants 3 questions.
Yes, girl in the
please,
back.
raise your hand. Okay, hold on.
I understand that you were doing this when you were studying.
Yes, I was studying in college about 30 years.
You
Yes.
decided to quit your job after 8 months.
After I graduated, yes.
I just want to know, when did you register your business?
My business was 2 years ago. It's 2 years ago. The corporation was just 2 years ago.
So how did you go about your income before that?
Before that, freelancing. So I consulted with different clients for social media management, PR, writing also, creating content copywriting.
I just want to know how is it with the BIR?
Sorry for that.
How is it with the BIR?
The BIR. As a freelancer, you don't have to be super careful about that. Because usually, I actually tell people, you know, unless you need to give a recibo to your client, and most overseas clients actually don't require a receipt. They can give you an acknowledgement receipt, but an official receipt is not necessary for overseas clients. And for a lot of local clients that I work with, are also okay with a small. And I think the thing is, if you're just a small business pa lang, like a small freelancer, you don't need to register to the BIR yet. I think it's gonna entail a lot of cost. So, you know, take your time, spend a few years doing your freelance work, and then register. Like now, I'm completely registered, and now I'm just dying with taxes. Yes. Sorry. I hope that helps. I mean, just really being super frank with you guys. I mean, small businesses, you have to focus on flourishing first before you can do anything. Because if you're already settling your taxes, then you must already have at least someone to manage your, you know, accounting, which we do. We have an agency for that now. But yeah, when I was starting out, no, I didn't have to do that. Yes.
All right, any more questions?
Second question.
Second question, yes, please. Can you pass
Yes.
the mic? Can you pass the mic, please? Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, podcast. My question is, what would you say is your biggest obstacle as far as freelancing is concerned when you were first starting out?
Basically, finding and retaining clients. Because when I was starting out, very young. I was very young. So when I work for people, I work with the intention of like, okay, this client is just gonna be for a month, right? So I would always do my best work for a client that's just for a month's project's worth, right? But over time, I realized that this is actually making it super difficult for them to keep on hiring me. Because syempre, the level of my work, the level of my commitment is for such a short term only. So, initially talagang sobrang hirap kuha ng kliyente and sobrang hirap for them to hire you beyond that first 1 or 2 projects. But over time, I just have to change my mindset. Like, am I doing this just for the next few months, or am I doing this for the indefinite future? And I'm building my whole future around this particular career. And so that's when we were really able to retain more clients. Last question.
Any other questions, guys?
Now's the time. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
I'm just wondering, so the way you started as a freelancer, so essentially that would be like, you're just working by yourself to your client. So how did you transition from being a freelancer to make, like to put up your own company and have your own team?
Well, I was really at the sort of a fork in the road, as we might say. Blogging has been very lucrative for me. We still have a lot of endorsements, but there came a point when blogging pretty much took a nosedive because these other platforms were becoming more popular, like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So bloggers were actually making less money as companies started putting their marketing and advertising budgets to all these other platforms. So I was like, actually my main income back then was also as a social media community manager and a PR manager for different brands, right? And that was also good for me. But then once the brands have realized that, okay, I kind of want to hire people in-house instead, I found myself losing some of these clients as well. So I was like, okay, what can I do now? Do I professionalize and go start an agency? Or do I pursue my blogging? And I made the same decision when I quit my desk job, all those years ago. I went with the blog. And so I raised money from investors and I incorporated around Project Vanity. That's how. I think as freelancers, you're gonna get there, right? So are you gonna keep pursuing this, or are you gonna do something else? And I think the answer, will be very different for everybody. But you have to really decide the one that works for you in your current life. I mean, wherever you are in your life, I think. One more.
Yep, time for one more question.
Anyway, you can also send your questions to menti.com that we can, go through later. Yes, please.
Again, thank you.
Yes, hi, hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I came in late. I don't know if you already discussed this, but I will ask anyway. I've been a freelancer for many years, and I started doing online business. So I have an online store through Lazada and Shopee, and so I buy my stuff or all the stuff that I sell from Alibaba. So I'm using PayPal to pay them, but I still am using my personal PayPal account. Is there any advantage of moving to a business account from the personal account? Because I'm having no issues about using the old one, but is there any perks or is there any advantage of changing it to business?
That's a good question. I haven't changed into no, sorry, it is a business account now. Because I think it's easier because you're verified, so it's easier to move money around versus like getting verified each time you make a transaction. I think if I remember correctly. I did this a few years ago when I incorporated. So yes, you might want to move on to a business.
But I also have hired my own VA and I paid her through PayPal as well, and there were no issues. So,
Yeah, no issues at all. I think
so
that
there's
should
no
be fine.
really difference between the personal PayPal account and
I think if you're okay with your personal PayPal account and you're getting your payments due properly and easily, no. I think
so
you
just
can
as
stay
long
on.
as you're verified, that's okay.
Yes, as long as you're
Thank
fine.
you.
Yes.
Alright.
That's it.
I think we can reserve some of the other questions for later. Again, you can send
Send your questions to menti.com and then we'll go through them later. Again, once again, let's all give a hand to Liz. We'll see her again later. Thank you very much, Liz. Alright. Now, is everybody still okay? Yes. Alright, again, there's some coffee, then we have snacks there, right there. Just could just go there later. Okay, so now let's go on and let's continue our discussion as we welcome our second people mentor for the day. Okay, our second mentor is known as Mr. Digital Nomad. He helps aspiring freelancers market themselves online and is also the CEO and co-founder of Howler Media Digital and Mr. Digital Nomad. Okay, let's all give a warm round of applause to Mr. Manuel Schuster.
Hello everyone. Yeah, it's my first time to give a workshop, so I'm quite nervous.
Yeah, sure, of course.
So yeah, I'm Manuel, and I started my freelance. I need my time. Okay. So yeah, I'm Manuel, and I'm originally from Switzerland, and moved here in 2015 to the Philippines. After that, I started creating Philly Happy, which is an online magazine here, and later on Howler Media, which is a digital marketing agency. But yeah, before that, I would like to know also a bit more about you. So I have prepared a few questions. So who in here is, for example, a freelance writer? Please raise your hands. Okay, nice. How about graphic designers? Okay. How about web developers? Okay. And who is doing it already full-time? Okay, nice. And who is earning already 100,000 a month with freelancing? Really? Okay, nice. Yeah, but who wants to earn 100,000 a month? Yeah, I guess everyone. Okay, I'm not promising you that you will earn 100,000 after this workshop, but I promise you that you will, yeah, I think it will help you to reach your goals. So yeah, yeah. So before I start, I would like to start with on how I started my journey as a freelancer itself. So I started in a really young age when I was about 16 back in Switzerland, but I just did it on the side besides studying. So I just wanted to make some extra cash. But then when I turned 18, I moved out and wanted to be independent. So that was the time when I had to look also for a full-time job because, yeah, let's be realistic. In the beginning, it's quite hard to earn enough money with freelancing. So I decided to do it just on the side. Yeah, it gets tiring because, of course, you will have your full-time job, which is 8 hours a day, and then you still have your freelancing. But yeah, and especially when you see your friends who keep on going out, partying, going to the beach, and you are just on your laptop and working your ass off. So yeah, but I really had a big dream, and my dream was being able to work from wherever I want to. And that was the thing who pushed myself to work harder than all my friends. Of course, there are some friends who worked also hard. But yeah, yeah, so that was actually the dream who really pushed me for it. And yeah, in 2008 when I started, it was quite hard to get clients convinced to work with you, especially when everything is fully remotely. But at least I had PayPal back then already, which this week, sorry, this already said. It's super easy to make invoices, and yeah, it helped me also to collect money from the people abroad. So after 10 years, I had finally enough money on the side and regular clients so that I can, finally quit my job. So that was the time when I moved here to the Philippines. When I moved to the Philippines, let's go this line. Okay. So when I moved to the Philippines, I started with an online magazine called Philly Happy, which I mentioned already. So me and my business partner traveled around and were able to feature different kinds of hotels and restaurants. And on the way, we came along on different bloggers and social media influencers, which changed for me everything. Because in Switzerland, the blogger community and the influencer community is really slow, really small, and not really used there over there. So yeah, but when I went to the Philippines, I realized that the Philippines is going crazy about those social media influencers. So I was thinking, if I can use it maybe for my advantage. I just didn't knew back then on how I can use it, so I just started posting pictures on Instagram like everyone else. I just had around maybe 100 followers and maybe 9 pictures because in Switzerland nobody's really using it. So yeah, but after a while, people started messaging me and asking me on how I can travel and earn money at the same time. Which was the time when I figured out that this is what makes me unique. So that was also the time when I decided to make my personal branding around that. I started my blog and teach people on how they can do exactly the same thing. And of course, also created also my Facebook page and started creating content. But yeah, more than enough about me. About personal branding, it's really important. Okay, give me a second. So personal branding is really important because, okay, wait, sorry. Some of you might think personal branding is not important, and takes lots of time. And yes, it's true, it takes much of your time and energy, but it will help you in many ways. It will help you to create credibility in your industry. It will open more opportunities, and it will make it much easier to close deals with certain clients. And Liz mentioned already before, 30% of your time should you invest in finding new clients. But when you have your personal branding, clients start to come to you by itself. I don't say that you have to stop looking for clients, but it will just make it way easier. Besides that, I think we saw already a lot of here are, for example, freelance writer. So yeah, there are thousands of freelancers who are doing exactly the same thing as you do. And I guess there is also always someone who is doing it better. But one thing I have realized is that the skill you have is not the only important thing. It's about you as a person. Because when a company is deciding for a freelancer, they're looking, of course, for the skills, but also on who they are working with. And then you have the personal branding. You can show your potential clients already in the beginning on who you are and what you do, and that puts you ahead on the other freelancers who don't have the personal branding. So let's start off how you build your personal branding. I have divided it in 3 pillars. One is your personality, the second one is your skills, and the third is the look and feel of your brand. So when you think about branding, of course, it's not just about the logo, the fonts, and the colors you are choosing. It starts by you as a person. So you have to think, everyone in here has a different personality and is unique in its own way. So you have to start listing down your characteristics and values you are sharing. After you have that, you can go to the skills. Of course, the skills is the most important thing for the client. So you have to list down the skills you want to offer them, but also the skills you still want to learn. And I recommend to all of you to focus at least on one main thing and make yourself an expert in that niche. So after you have all the two things, you can start creating the look and feel around it. So of course, when you start creating the branding, the personality and the skills has to reflect exactly, the look and feel has to reflect that. So yeah, I show you here a few examples we did by How the Media. So the first one is Maggie Wilson. She's like a tropical celebrity, and we wanted to show here, for example, the M who is reflecting the W, which is Maggie Wilson. So, and by Maggie came to us, she's an actress, I think by GMA, and so we incorporated here the M and also the bubble, who is actually the Q. And the bubble is because she wanted to start a YouTube channel, and she's super talkative, so yeah, I guess it reflects her. Yeah, so that's some examples. But after you have built your branding, of course, nobody will know about it when you don't put it out there. So you have to make your strategy about it. Yeah. The first thing you have to do, I know we were all young and made parties and posted some pictures where we were drunk or maybe had a joint or whatever. So yeah, the most important thing is I'm not sure if it's working. There's a slide missing. Anyway, in the other slide were stupid pictures of me who were online. So it's maybe better that it's not there now. So yeah, it's really important that you clean your Facebook page, even if it's personal. Also Google yourself and check what photos appear. Because of course if potential clients Google you and the first picture they see is you lying somewhere drunk or whatever. So yeah, that's the first thing you have to do. Yeah. After that you have to set your goals. I have 3 basic goals for the personal branding. So the basic goals are: first, create awareness around your brand. Second, create credibility in your industry or in your niche. The third, of course, getting new clients. Oh yeah, of course you have maybe more goals, but that's just really the basic things everyone should have. But maybe you are a videographer, maybe your goal is one day to work with, I don't know, a celebrity or whatever. So you can put that there too. This one, this is really important, and some of you might think your primary audience will be the potential clients, but that's actually not true. Because when you build personal branding, it's more used for the credibility and awareness. So your primary audience will be people like you and me. It will be people you want to teach, people who want to be like you. So you will make yourself like an expert in that niche. And then the second one, or maybe some of you might think, why should I teach my competitors? But it's more of, I'm saying like there are more than enough projects out there, so I'm not really scared of, I'm saying that this is like competition. Of course it is in some ways, but yeah, the personal branding really helps you to create credibility, and if you teach them, it makes you an expert, or maybe later on. So yeah, the second one is of course the clients. You will reach the clients or the potential clients only indirectly with the personal branding, because you will put your branding out there, but you will not really produce content for them. But of course, with the website you have and the social media you post you have, of course they will see you and they will maybe notice you. So yeah, the first thing you have to do is, of course, create your own website. Every freelancer, it's really a must for every freelancer. It's actually your business card in the online world. But it's not just for the contact details. You can use it also for your portfolio, and of course, talk also about yourself so that the companies can figure out who you are. Besides that, if you want to produce like articles or want to teach other people, you can include there also your blog. Yeah, social media. So for social media, of course, everyone should at least use Instagram and Facebook. And the other channels are depending on you. If you're a videographer, of course, YouTube and Vimeo might be interesting for you. If you're a writer or journalist, Twitter might be good for you. So it really depends on you and what you're doing and what your audience is doing. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram is basics. Yeah, so create content. When you start creating content, you have to think on what you want to share and what your audience wants to see. So I divided mine in 4 different posts. One is an article, which is usually really text heavy, and I'll teach them on different things for freelancing and also from working wherever you want. The other thing is motivational quotes, because of course you need to post something on a regular basis so that the followers or readers keep on coming back to you. So what I have on Mondays, I have always these motivational quotes, which work for me really well. And then on Wednesday, I have usually an article, and then later on Friday, I have like these small facts. It's not really text heavy, but it's like a fact that you still learn something, and it takes you maybe 10 seconds to see that. And of course, between that, you can post also like when you have a new project or a new client, or also when you have events like this one here. Yeah, this one is also really important. It's not just important to put out content there. It's important to check if the content is actually also working. So from time to time, you have to check, oh, does my quotes even work? Or does people even read my articles? Because of course, when you're creating articles and you see, yeah, 1, 2 people are watching or reading it, then, I mean, your effort might not really be worth it. So maybe you should switch to something else, or maybe rethink on what you're talking about. Yeah, this is also really important. Of course, you have your own website and your own social media channels, but to gain followers will take some time. So what you can do is you can build credibility by third-party platforms, which I mean is different kind of online magazines. Like, for example, when you are online marketing expert, maybe you can write an article by entrepreneur.ph or Medium or whatever. So this will not just help you create credibility, it will also help you to gain more followers on your personal social media channels. So what I did back then is I collaborated with a few Swiss magazines. So two of them were just one-time things. Another one was a series of articles over 4 months, which I posted on a weekly basis, a new article. So I made like a connection also to their readers and made them also like switch to my blog. And of course, if you are writing for an online magazine, it's always good to have something related on your own personal branding so that you can tell them once they have read that, they can switch to yours. So yeah, I'm challenging everyone here to create your own personal branding until the end of the month. And you can send it to me, and I will review everything, or everyone who submits it if you submit it until the September 3rd. I will take my time, review it, and give you my feedback. So, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Manuel. Alright guys, we have a couple more minutes with Manuel. Before we proceed, we prepared an interactive activity with you guys for you guys to work on. But we have a couple more minutes. So who has questions for Manuel? Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
How do you create a brand for yourself if you have multi activities or multi like
What kind of activities?
no like you have a lot of things or directions that you want to go to. Like me, I do email marketing,
Yeah.
but on the side I'm a animal advocate. So how do you incorporate that, or do you create separate brands for everything?
It depends on if you want to give everything from the same platform. But I think since it's about you as a person, it's okay that you incorporate everything in one brand. And then, of course, you will not maybe name it Mr. Digital Nomad, you will maybe name it like your personal name. And when it's your personal name, you can actually offer to the clients everything. So I think the brand should be more about yourself than about what you're gonna offer.
Any other questions for Manuel? Or you're serving it for later? Yes, from the back. Can you pass the mic?
I think I can just speak loud.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, Manuel. I'm sure most of us are given affirmation with all the ideas you just said. The question is, for the newbies in the freelancing world who are just starting out to create their content or their brand, do you suggest hard selling? And if so, what would be the best way?
Hard selling. So for me, yeah, I don't use social media channels for getting clients, as I said already. Or is that what you mean? Sorry, maybe my English is not good enough.
I get the idea of like emailing them directly.
Yeah. So what I did to get clients is actually, back in Switzerland, I didn't usually I went to their actual stores because we are still, or at least in 2008, we were still old-fashioned. So I went to the store and introduced myself and get the clients. But then here in the Philippines, on how I started was, I messaged them on Instagram or wherever I wanted, and then, or actually on several platforms. For example, the first client I got was Lori Nui. So I messaged her on Instagram, I emailed her, and I think I emailed her more than once. So yeah, after a while she responded to me, and then I had the opportunity to meet her and also create the website. But yeah, so I think you really have to push yourself and get out there. But the things I talked about was more of long term than now.
Okay, any more questions, guys? We have time for one more question before we proceed to the activity. Okay, I think that's about it. Then, again, if you have more questions, you can just go to menti.com and then send in your questions. Just type M and then your questions if you have questions for Manuel. So once again, thank you very much, Manuel. So we'll give him a round of applause. Now we have come to the point of the program wherein we'll do a little bit of group activities. Since this is a workshop, this is about time to put you guys into work. But it's not naman super tedious. So it's more of a collaborative activity wherein we will be able to somehow apply whatever we've learned from both Liz and Manuel. And then it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a little bit competitive as we have prepared prizes for the winning teams. It's gonna be a team effort. So the first thing is I want you guys, so since we have a limited space and you guys are already seated close to each other, it's time to get to know your seatmates and group yourselves into a maximum of 10 members per team. Can we do that? Get to know, say hi to people around you and group yourselves. Maximum of 10 per group. My teammates, please help everyone if they have questions. I'll give you time to group yourselves.